Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of the best show on the internet that airs Wednesday mornings and has to do with comic books. Comics should smell good. I am Morgan.
I'm Will.
And Casey is, with us in spirit. You know,
yeah.
He's still on vacation because, you know, the man needs time off, okay? He does a lot around here. You just can't expect people to work year-round and, you know, not take time off. Just how it works. Fortunately, that means that I get to talk more at you, which, as we all know, after, 5 years of doing this, that's why everyone tunes in, obviously.
Sure.
Well, you know, I was going to make a little bit of an exception for, you know, the part of the audience that likes your part of things, but okay, well,
the
never
older
mind.
demographic you were probably going to launch into, right?
I wasn't going to say anything. Why would you assume? Jeez, you know what?
It's Morgan
Because
we're talking about.
age before beauty, I'll let you go ahead and start talking
okay.
first.
Thank you very much.
What do you got for us, Will?
You know, I think if I had to pick, Will, you only could pick one comic book to read this year. It might be this. I love Batman. I love the Batwoman, Bat and Cat story, and I love Tom King. This is Tom King reuniting with Lee Weeks, who they worked together on the incredible Elmer Fudd Batman. Well, they've reunited for this story. Special guest art also by Michael Lark. But this kind of is it's the Batman annual. You know, one of the big stories has been the Bat and the Cat. They're engaged. This pretty much takes you into the past, present, and future of probably one of the most iconic couples in comics. They love each other, they hate each other, they're romantic rivals, they're enemies, they're friends, they're lovers, and now they're engaged. What happens to them? It's really, really powerful stuff. It's just, this issue is what great comic book storytelling is all about. So, whether you're a Batman fan, Catwoman fan, you just want to get something, this is it.
That's right. Well, you know what? Might as well just keep the theme rolling with another DC annual this week. This is Aquaman annual #1. There's actually kind of a theme running through these annuals, I've noticed, along with another one that you have in your pile, I saw, of worlds that may come to pass, things that may not have actually happened, and things that could still happen. In this case, with Aquaman, we're taking a look into a possible future where King Arthur and Mera have a young son, and they're visited in the Kingdom of Atlantis by an aged Superman, Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman. At which point, certain things start to threaten their reality, their peace that they've eventually fought for in this future. This features really, really amazing art by Sebastian Fiumara, who's done a bit of Hellboy stuff, Abe Sapien here and there, so it's very fitting that he goes into this deep-sea adventure. It's also written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. And there's a really good old Superman here that reminds me of the Earth. Well, whatever Kingdom Come Earth was that was hanging out with the JSA back in the day.
It's its own Earth all the time.
It's whatever. He was basically Earth 2 Superman.
While we're at it, I promise we're going to do other books from other publishers, but DC's just really giving it to us this week. So I'm going to do the Green Arrow annual. I love Green Arrow. It's awesome. It's set in Seattle. Although there's some really weird changes that have turned Seattle into Star City, it might be a commentary on the changes that are happening in our fair city.
Well,
perhaps. You read and be the judge, but Benjamin Percy's been doing a great job. It's one of my favorite books of the DC Rebirth. I probably have never read this much Green Arrow consistently in my entire comic book reading career. So anyway, this is a big annual. Once again, it does this whole theme of what ifs. This actually takes place before Green Arrow 25, but don't let that just come in and get it anyway. But it's great. It takes a chapter in everyone in Oliver Queen's life, from Dinah to Roy to John to Emiko to it's the holidays, but the holidays aren't so happy as Oliver Queen tries to reunite with all his extended Arrow family and deal with fighting the 10th Circle, who's transformed our beloved Emerald City. So, and the guest art on this one is Eleonora Carlini. I hope I said that right. Your artwork is beautiful, and so is your name, so I hope I got it right.
Yeah.
So come check it out. A lot of great annuals this week from DC. And your next book is not a DC, right?
Wrong, Will.
Wrong again.
Wrong as usual.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got another
That
big
awesome
Batman
book.
title here, which actually, it's a bit of a contender for the #1 Batman book of the week. I understand the annual is a big part of the ongoing series. Really important chapter of the DC universe. Batman's getting married, settling down. Like that ever really pans out? Come on. Meanwhile, we've got a sort of an Elseworlds book here, actually, in everything but name. Batman Creature of the Night, #1. Really beautiful, square-bound, almost prestige format book here. Written by Kurt Busiek, who has gone down in history as like one of the greatest comic book writers, at least as far as superheroes go, of all time. He just knows his way around capes, and drawn by John Paul Leon, whose noir flavorings really, really help ground this story of a not quite Batman. This is the story of Bruce Wainwright, a small child who lives in a world very, very much like our own, where superheroes are only a thing of comic books. But, of course, probably because, his name, he's kind of obsessed with Batman to a point that's kind of unhealthy. And, of course, once his parents are killed in a strange robbery gone wrong, his obsession starts to get even more unhealthy, like most Bruce Waynes do. There's also apparently some large winged creature lurking in the night, which may or may not be connected to him somehow. It's a very psychological take on Batman, really emotional, and at the same time, very, very, very fantastic, as you can see there.
Very cool.
You gotta buy the book to see that one, though.
There you go. My next pick, I am going to switch over to Marvel. This is X-Men Blue. This is the first big story after the X-Men Blue and X-Men Gold did a big crossover with called Mojo Worldwide, with of course one of the greatest, craziest, weirdest X-Men villains from the 90s, Mojo. But this starts off, Cullen Bunn takes the time-lost X-Men into, when you think of the cross-time capers, you can't help but think of the crazy Excalibur story where they kept bouncing through different versions of the world. It was a lot of fun. Perhaps it may have gone on too long. Maybe, who knows. But anyway, so we do know that when this happens, we're not really sure what it happens, but we do know that I'm really excited there's going to be a reunion with X-Men 2099. I love that series. I can't wait. But this is, of course, the original young X-Men from the past. Plus, there's a few other time-lost, other dimensional X-Men, like James Hudson from the Ultimate Universe, Bloodstorm from the
Mutant X
Mutant
universe.
X, yeah, where Havoc was the lead back in the day. So she's in there, and this also kind of plays on what Cullen Bunn, he's been playing this long game with Magneto. Of course, my running thing is I said Magneto. I think it's neato to say Magneto because it's a magnet, not a magnet. In science class. Anyway, there you go.
I
get back to this.
Mag frickin' neato if you stop making that joke. But...
Exactly. It's a good one. It's a good bit, and it's still good. So anyway, take it away.
Does it smell good, Will? Does that joke smell good?
I think it does. I think it's aromatic.
Oh, okay.
It smells like Nightcrawler after bamfing. There you go. Maybe not.
I'm not even gonna try to unpack that one. Let's just get real weird with it here. My next pick is a beautiful hardcover edition from Viz Media, publishers of all things manga. This is Junji Ito's Shiver. One of my favorite manga artists of all time, the master of horror, at least of this most recent generation. Yeah, there was Kazuo Umezu before him, but he has pretty much put his mark on the face of horror, much like the birthmark on his trademark character Tomi's face. This sees 9, I believe, new stories, which either have not been collected in like 15 years or have never been collected stateside, including 2 of my favorite stories. One of them which was formerly known as Glyceride, which is possibly the most disgusting horror story that I've read in my life, and another called The Long Dream, which had a short film adaptation back in 2000, and will really, really keep you up at night. So if you're looking for something spooky, the Halloween spirit's still in you after like 2 months here, check this one out.
My final pick of the week is a Star Trek Discovery series from IDW. If you're a huge fan of the Star Trek Discovery, it's on the streaming service. It's really acclaimed. While that series one of the things that they do introduce is the Klingons in a whole new way. There's a whole group of sub-characters that are the Klingons. And yes, they've changed the Klingons again, but I don't really care because I love anything Klingon.
Don't they do it like every series anyway?
Every series it changes up. They're gray, purpley skinned now. But this is the Light of Kahless, and it goes into the Klingon families. And I just love whenever they dive, when they go to anytime they ever went to the Klingon homeworld, I was just psyched because you got into their weird politics, their sense of honor, and all the family drama. So this is a great, if you're a big fan of Star Trek Discovery and you want to see what's up with more of the Klingons, the Light of Kahless, new limited series from IDW for you. Dive in and kapla, as they would say in Klingon. That's the only one I remember that comes to my.
And what does that mean?
It's like go, engage, right on. It's Klingon for like cool, awesome, you know.
Okay.
Maybe there's some
Anyways,
Trek fans who
moving
may
on.
want to sign in and tell me what they think it means. So.
Whatever,
Please,
nerd.
hey, you've got a sword too.
Yeah, a really cool sword. It's like basically Space Excalibur, man, but we're gonna call it Sword of Ages. This is a very, very cool hybrid fantasy sci-fi series from Gabriel Rodriguez, who you were probably familiar with from Locke Key. He's the co-creator and artist of that title, which ran for a long, long time for IDW. Probably their most successful, like, single original property that I would know of, at least. This is sort of a blending of both Arthurian mythology and, like, weird classic sci-fi. Like, there's a bit of Planet of the Apes situation going on here, but there's also, like, humans riding around on, like, motorcycles. We've got Blue Merlin here, running around with, like, a space wand and a motorcycle. And the main character, Avalon, who's sort of this this Princess Mononoke figure, almost, who was raised by saber-toothed tigers, you know, came up in blood and now has to protect humans from these weird gorilla people. And there's also this order of Black Star Knights who are going around and have this really imposing sort of like destroyer figure almost that's just known as the Black Knight.
That's a cool dragon.
Yeah, isn't it just? There's dragons, man! Dragons, lakes, swords, everything you could want from fantasy, plus motorcycles.
Yes. We've got it all here.
We do. So stop in on Wednesday, pick up all your new comics, and peruse around the store. We've still got store-wide sales going on just about everything in here. Black Friday, you know what? Why not just make it black all the way until January 28th?
Sure, why
just
not?
Paint everything black, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, stop in, say hi, tell us what you're liking, tell us what you want more of, and we'll see you next week.
Casey will be back. Well, maybe.
He better be.